I say. What-o, congregation? How is one? I'm just getting myself prepared. I have had a major catastrophe. The staff have brought me a cup of tea. Now, ordinarily, it will be hibiscus. So the church helpers have dropped my house of spherical by giving me a cup of builders, bag still in the tea, not hibiscus. Ruined my flow. What can I say? They'll be sacked as soon as I finish this live. Oh, I say, welcome to another gathering. Congregation, if you could, please just budge up in the pews to allow everyone a seat in the body of the kirk this evening. This evening we are going to celebrate this thing called life. And if you don't mind, I'm just making sure that, well, as the good book says, let there be light right at the very beginning. And I agree totally. So I do have my little ring thing going. And, well, if you don't mind, just to make sure that I can keep my concentration without my hibiscus this evening, I'm just going to finger my ring, my little light ring, every so often, just to keep me focused. Evening, y'all. Roy Gordon's first in the body of the kirk this evening, and he says, oh, I say, I'm first to comment this evening. Evening, yeah, wrong'un, evening, wrong'uns, evening all, as Mick's just said. Andrew James, always a bit of an early riser, I understand, Mr. James. Had a bit of trouble finding the live tonight. Is Double A getting a shadow ban? Are you trying to tell me, Mr. James, that it was a little hard for you just as you got into the body of the kirk? Well, I do hope you didn't make the local nuns blush, you wrong'un. Andrew also says, interesting article in the Telegraph today. Oh, one takes the Telegraph, does one, Mr. Jones? About ATMs leaving the high street. I don't think they've got any bloody choice. Either somebody brings a tractor along and grabs it out of the wall, or basically the banks are just hopeless. Hampshire are losing their banks. Sorry, I shall put this into context for you. Interesting article in the Telegraph about ATMs leaving the high streets. Hampshire are losing their banks each week. If my local Tesco ATM is out of use, the nearest cash machine is a 25-mile round trip. Oh, I say, what-o? Do I drink this dirty stuff? Builders? No choice, really. Maybe I shall refuse to drink it, therefore it would be a dirty protest, if anyone's old enough to remember those in the 70s. Shit on the walls. Nigel Green, you proper made me laugh. Filter in swiftly, congregation. Chaps remain upstanding for the rector, Alan of Battenberg. Yeah, wrong'uns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle of the pews. I'll take that, Nigel. Wrong'uns. And yes, being upstanding for the reverend is, well, it's not necessarily my kind of church, but if you catch me drift. Andrew James is back again. Book of Psalms. Today is it night? Sermon about how we all worship Double A as we sit near priapic organ. Yes, well, you can't see because, well, it just would be ungallant of the Reverend Alan to flash his organ about. I do give it a bit of a tinkle. I do give it a bit of a, play every now and again, just to make sure it's in still working order. It's quite an ancient organ, so it does need a play every now and again. Both hands, congregation, both hands. Nigel Green says, oh, Andrew James, oh, I say. And, there's a whole bloody conversation going on. Hang on. Andrew James says, congregation, what does a membrum virile and Rubik's Cube have in common? The more you play with it, the harder it gets. Amalia Grassi says, hurry up, Adrian, hurry up, Reverend. Can't wait for the live to start. Want my distraction now. And wasn't expecting to see comments so early on. Oh, Amalia. Yeah, Rowan. We have, honestly, I've got some fabulous stuff tonight that I literally can't wait to get stuck into. Because, do you know, they think we're thick. I mean, maybe that should be the title above the church door or the church pews. Rusty Mouse, got me wine ready. Oh, I say, altar wine being poured already, Rusty Mouse. As nobody bought any in last week. Yeah, you tight ass wrong'uns. What's wrong with a little altar wine just to help lubricate? Nothing better than a little lubrication to help things move along. Amalia's having her chamomile tea. Amalia, I would have had me hibiscus, but the staff are bloody hopeless. Neil Cunningham says, evening all. Welcome. Stuart, evening, Adrian, you wrong'un. Delighted to be watching live tonight and not on catch-up. Stuart, you're most welcome, young sir. Andrew James, Chateau de Nose, Puis, Fume, Baron de... Is it a Rothschild by any chance, Andrew? I do quite like Chateauneuf de Pape myself. What, only sniffed at after the live, just, cracking that bottle open and having a large one. Size Queen. Rusty Mouse, the Reverend... Oh, Rusty Mouse, how could you? We're not going to be able to get rid of this vision from our eyes. Rusty Mouse says, the Rev in a G-string, throwing his cassock over the pulpit. I can only but imagine. Well... Rusty Mouse will leave it to your imagination, because it would have to be a large cassock, obviously. Or should I say, what's the word I'm looking for? Girth. Stop making me laugh, man. I'm supposed to be serious. Vivian Kenyon, I say, Sunday sermon session. What pleasures await us from our Reverend Adrian? Has somebody been putting something in the Darlington water, Vivian? Soon find out. Get in your pews. You're wrong. Vivian Darlow with a little kiss. What was it? There was something going on in Darlington today. What was it? Oh, there was some... Keir Starmer. Is he scaring you yet? He was in Darlow, in a cafe, in Darlow. Blimey, I used to live in Darlington. Very, very... nice part of Darlington. There are some interesting parts and there are some nice parts of Darlington. It's supposed to be so middle class, Darlington, that, Keir Starmer's there because they're all bloody Liberal Democrats. Or are they Labourites or are they Tories? Darlington's an interesting place. Oh, my favourite pub with my favourite waitress. What was that one called? My good friend will remind me. Got stories. Rusty Mouse. Oh, hang on a second. Andrew James and Neil Cunningham. Neil Cunningham's very clean living this evening, Neil. Sipping a glass of milk. Just a thought. Who was the first human being that saw a cow, saw the teat and said, do you know, I'm just going to give it a bit of a tug on that teat there and whatever comes out I'm going to drink? Human beings. Dirty. Neil says, guys, can I tell you about a fundraiser I'm doing in June? Go ahead, Neil, in the comment. Not a problem at all. Like Alex from Clockwork Orange. Neil Cunningham says, I'm raising money for SUDEP Action, a charity that supports families that have lost a loved one to, is that sudden death, Neil? Oh, and sudden unexpected death in epilepsy. Ooh. Oh, and what, is it a 17-hour, Neil? 17-hour marathon broadcast starting at 4:43 a.m. on the 21st of June, ending at 9:43 p.m. The following day, I would imagine. But is the timing significant, Neil? But please let us know, because I've had, on my dad's side, we had a sudden unexpected death of a little one, and it was just, it's tough for families. Tough. So let us know more, Neil, and if anybody wishes to help out, more than happy to. Alan says, oh, God, heavening to all the Battenbergers. Oh, correct. Hope you're all fine and dandy this lovely evening. It is very nice, I have to say. Very, very. It's about to absolutely lash it down, as it has all day. But we're alive, we're breathing, we're here. Wonderful. Gelly Darcy in Edinburgh, I believe. Gelly, Says, oh, Reverend Adrian, I hope you are keeping well. Oh, very fine and dandy. We've got lots in the body of the Kirk this evening. I'll do a couple of more of these and then we'll get stuck into what I have to talk about, which is just marvellous. Marvellous, 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 because we've lifted the veil, as we do every Sunday and Wednesday and in a lot of the videos that we do. But we lift the veil and we just go, oh, I say, that smells a bit, doesn't it? Anybody left a rotten fish in the curtain? To Alan, happy birthday to Jonathan the Giant Tortoise. He's 192 years old today. That's a lot of candles. Don't have them anywhere near poor Jonathan. 192. He's going to be a bit slow at that age. Gotta be, really. Mind you, anything over 40, you're a bit slower. Oh, Penny Hen's evening in the body of the Kirk this evening. Penny Hen. Yeah, wrong. Evening, Rev. Evening, Penny. To Mad Matt UK. Good evening, Adrian. It's good to be back in the body of the Kirk. Oh, Mad Matt, welcome back amongst the throng, the congregation. Just make sure that there is a seat for you amongst the pews. Good evening, everyone. I hope you are all well from Mad Matt. And rich evening to the Right Reverend Alan, fellow wrong'uns, and all you Battenberg virgins. Oh, I say, is there such a thing as a Battenberg virgin? Hands up. You see, you had me going there. Hands up if you're a Battenberg virgin in the body of the Kirk this evening. Yeah, Gary says, smash the likes, people. Smash the likes. Nearly 200 people and we got 68 likes. Oh, you're a tight audience. You're a hard audience this evening. Hopefully you've got baggy pants on. Rusty Mouse. Books ready, yo. Yeah, prayer. Get your prayer mat, your prayer books, and your prayer everything out. DC says, evening, wrong'uns. Who's that? Annie Watt. Hello, Adrian. Hello, Annie Watt. Good evening to one and all. Do you know, according to the stats, it takes everybody 20 minutes to get their feet under the pew and get themselves all in the body of the Kirk and ready for the sermon. The sermon will start in a moment. Got some great questions for you tonight. I'm going to do one of those regularly through the live tonight. We'll get to the start in a moment. I've just got a couple more. Hang on. Oh, GB Patriot's in the house. Welcome, GB Patriot. I'm having withdrawal symptoms. Tell Block Tracy, where are you? I think she's at an orgy in Scotland somewhere, so I believe. She said it was something large and something, it was something hard and something large, and she was taking it with her. No, I have no idea either. I've obviously had a very sheltered lifetime. Napoleon Bonaparte afternoon or evening or morning all. Evening, Napoleon blown apart. Yeah, wrong. Did you ever meet Wolfman Jack or Dr. Demento? No, but see if I can do a Wolfman Jack voice. Ow! Wolfman Jack here. It's as close as you're going to get with my talent. But I remember Wolfman Jack. What a boy. What a broadcaster. Dr. Demento. Where was he? LA? New York? Not sure. I did like the Grease Man. Lots of good American broadcasters, but you know we're more genteel in the Sceptred Isles. We're cheeky because the Americans don't get irony. We do big time. So there's a lot of ironic broadcasters with talent in this Sceptred Isle. So in the field. Good evening, Adrian and chatters. No, we're Battenbergers. In the field, we are the body of the wrong, the body of the Kirk, the church of the wrong'uns, the church of the Battenbergers. And Des Ashton, Des, good to have you in the body of the Kirk this evening, sir. Welcome, yeah, wrong'un. Evening, AA, trust all as well. Oh yeah, now that we're cracking on. So. What are we going to start with this evening? Well, let's get the usual housekeeping done. Next live, Wednesday, 1st of May. We're in month 5 of 2024 already. What exactly is going on? Hello, Adrian. Michael Smith, I think that is. Hang on, let me just press a few buttons. Sorry, Michael, I'm just going to... my screen's not set up to acknowledge you that quickly. Come on, do that and that and that and that and brilliant. Cool, blimey, lots I think it was Michael Smith. Hello, Adrian. New to the church. Michael, make sure that they budge up in those pews because, well, they've had a little bit too much Battenberg. So, you know, they may be a little broader in the beam, shall we say. We can't fat shame anybody, but we can tell them they're broader in the beam. Welcome to the church, Michael. I hope you find the sermon this evening funny and enlightening. To the world, Tracy's gone to Scotland to toss the caber. Very good, very good. I hope she's using both hands, bless her. Small hands makes it look bigger. The caber before you start. So, I'm not sure whether to start with a funny or start with something serious. I have. Can I start with the Royals this evening? Because I'm really excited. Because we've seen through their bullshit. We've seen through it. Do you know, Friday afternoon, there's King Fatfingers. I'm not going to be respectful this evening because they're taking the mickey out of us. And because they're taking the mickey out of us with no integrity, I'm just going to give you facts. And I'm going to give you stuff that's going to go... Adrian, be careful, that's a bit too close. You might have your brake pipes cut. Oh, stuff that. Did I tell you I was working for Mohammed Al Fayed, running his radio station, Liberty 963, in London, when Diana was murdered? Interesting video, that one. Amalia, do not encourage me to be naughty. She says, go for it, go for it. Thank you very much. Who's that? Dylan, this will blow your pants off. If they're baggy and you're smuggling anything into the body of the Kirk, you could get into trouble. If it's Battenberg, you're fine. Anything else? Oh, no, what-o. Mick Rush, there is a house in New Orleans. They call the Adrian. It's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. Do you know, Metro Radio had, you're obviously not from the Northeast, but growing up in the Northeast, Metro Radio, it's my favourite advert ever on the radio. And they used the animals, the House of the Rising Sun. And it was all about McEwen's best scotch. Those from the Northeast will know. But McEwen's best scotch. Not a bottle of the dog. You know that? Well, let's translate for around the world, for all the viewers to the live this evening. Live number, are we 78? Yeah. Live number 78 this evening. And a bottle of the dog is a bottle of Newcastle Brown. Do not go into a pub and say, oh, hello. Do you have a bottle of Newcastle Newkie Brown or Newcastle Brown? They'll look at you go, oh, you're a foreigner then, are you? Because one goes into the pub and says, a bottle of the dog, please. Not the hair, the bottle. Eric Burden and Alan Price, legends. I do agree. Alan, I do agree. There is a house in New Orleans. It's called the Rising Sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And by God, I'm one. Thank you, Reverend Alan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am the Reverend. And tonight, because it's the last Sunday of the month, we're going to do AAA. It's not a battery, although I might have a couple secreted about my person. Not going to tell you where. And it's Ask Adrian Anything. So if you've got any questions this evening, stick them in the chat and I'll get to them as quickly as I can. Oh, Mick Roche, Lead Belly original. Lead Belly. Lead Belly. I love a bit of blues. That's why Led Zeppelin's one of my favourite bands, because, you know, they rock the blues, baby. Rolling Stones, not so much, apart from Little Red Rooster. You know what that's about, don't you? As Prince says, Raspberry Beret. You know what that's about, don't you? He was such a little perv, was Prince. What, you need me to describe it to you? How naive are you? I'm a reverend. I can't use that kind of language. Much. Raspberry Beret. So, your Bobby's helmet. What colour is it? That's what he was talking about. Alpha, he's talking about a Bobby's helmet. What's that then? Switch that off. It's disgusting. He's going to corrupt you, darling. Is he? Brilliant. I'll keep watching then. Little Red Rooster. Bring it on home to me. What a great blues song that was. I mean, the Rolling Stones. I lived in Richmond, in Surrey, for a while. And one of the local pubs opposite the train station is, I think, the pub where the Rolling Stones had their very first gig with Alexis Yeah, Alexis Corners, Blues Breakers or something. So I have driven past the tree, commuting virtually every day from Richmond into town when I was in PR. And I used to drive past the tree that it was Mark Bolan's last hit. So, shall we get into them? Yeah! Because you know I'm an iconoclast. You know that I just can't... hang on. Josh Watt, Adrian, do you think there should be a general election in July? Quicker the better for me. I am going to ask a question about Rich Boy later on that I would like you to answer. 1 for yes, 2 for no. The Mind, do you listen to Ken Day show for his Beatles show on Sunday mornings? Howie, Andrew, man, it's bad enough doing all this and trying to get me carcass out of bed early on a Sunday morning. You're wrong. Oh, let me just hold the questions for the moment. Let me get into the Royals. So we'll start off with that feckless idiot, Ginger Sphericals, and he's wastrel of a missus. Seemingly, Harry and Meghan, they're heading to Nigeria after the Invictus 10th anniversary ceremony at St. Paul's, because you know she's of Nigerian descent. Should I have got the Specsavers? Don't look Nigerian to me, much. Oh, she has a percentage. Did Harry say to her, darling, do you have any Nigerian in you? You can finish the gag off yourself. Now, here's the thing. You know his Centre Parks or whatever it's called. He's not very touchy-feely with that, is he? Because some of the Rangers have... well, there's many a story coming out of that particular charity, which, because I don't have my notes in front of me, I'm not going to... I'm not going to go into too much detail for very obvious legal reasons. But there's you know, Meghan. Neil, you utter wrong one, but that is funny. From what on board yachts, Nigerians don't have many yachts, though, do they? Do they? She's of Nigerian descent. Remember when, and I told you this ages ago. So she's had her DNA done, and she's like, yeah, I'm half Nigerian. Oh, brilliant, Gareth Henshaw, you win the internet tonight, because Gareth reckons she puts the lay in Lagos. Not quite sure what that means, but it wins for me, Gareth. Completely wins for me. I know what kind of sermon we're going to have this evening. You are absolutely just making me... I'm just going to end up being naughty tonight. Never mind double entendre. It'll be triple and quadruple entendres. Are you ready for that? Two cocks, Kate. Who said that? So, hopefully, Meghan's going to take a shine to where her... forefathers come from. Obviously not on her dad's side. Why can't she just take a liking to where seemingly she's half from, or a little bit under? Was she 42%, 44% Nigerian? Maybe she can stay there and just have somebody else like Netflix operate her business for her. How exactly does that work? So you set a business up, and then she goes to Netflix. Oh, you do... So are Netflix going to become Amazon now? Let's get to the feckless idiot. The feckless entitled idiot. Ginger Sphericals. Hang on, Terry says, Meghan has only had 2 African lovers, the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Air Force. Terry, you're a terrible man, but funny as. So this you know, he's sometimes called Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Thank you for the reminder. Who's that, Jacobite? When's Harry getting his DNA done? Harry's already had his DNA done. She got it done for him. Oh, can you imagine the conversation over dinner? Oh, hello, Harold. Could you pass the tomato ketchup, please, darling? And there's the quandary. Do you put your tomato ketchup on your chips, or do you put them on the side of your plate to dip your chips in? I think it's the north-south divide. For me, I love chips and gravy. All northern boys love chips and gravy. And so, has he had his DNA done? Of course! That's her ace in the hole! Hang on, Adrian. Which hole? I'm not telling you that. I haven't got the photographs. I've got some, but I haven't got them all. Have you seen those photographs of Meghan? Haven't you? Oh, I say. What do you mean? What photographs? Well, the photographs of her, I may be defrocked. I can't be defrocked, surely. Is it decollared or defrocked? Either way, the kit's coming off. No. Well, they did the rounds a long time ago. Somehow I managed to be sent things. I don't know who by. It must have been in a pub via, this modern technology where you sit there with your phone and people send you Richard pics randomly. No, I have said, not for me. Thank you very much. I know people that might, especially if they're in prison. But no. So I had some pictures sent and I looked at them just kind of downloading on my phone going, is that how I think it is? And have you seen the video? Oh, it keeps disappearing. The what can we say? It's an unusual colour. It's not red like tomato ketchup. It's not yellow or ginger. It's blue. And I say, Madam has skills. Madam has skills. But whenever there's derobed rector, they'd ruin me. So every time that it kicks off, this film of a particular hue, that's not Hugh Grant, as in it's hue colour, just appears online. If there's a bit of turmoil going on, and evidently she likes to use oil, it appears. And then when they're kissy and makey uppy, whoever these people may be, and they have 3 small letters, they it disappears. It's like up and down like a bride's knickers on a honeymoon online, this thing. And then there's all these pictures. And I just wonder to myself, as one does before a sermon on a Sunday, exactly what the buggery is going on. Anyway, I've seen the pictures. It's definitely her. Classy. So, yes, feckless. Ginger sphericals. Bless him. He's like, can you remember Kenny Everett? Are you old enough to remember Kenny Everett back in the day? Back in the 70s when he used to have, and the 80s, when he had the Kenny Everett video show and he had all kinds of guests and dancing troupes, and he had that American general with all of his, like, hundreds of medals. Well, that's a bit like sphericals, ginger sphericals. He's got... Didn't Prince Charles tease Harry about James Hewitt? Well, he would do, because James Hewitt's not his dad. Neither's Charles. Somebody else. And I'm trying to find the pictures as proof, because I've got them stashed away somewhere. No, it's another Duke. I'm not going to name him, but I will do in a video one day, just before I've decided, that's enough. I'll let them cut me break pipes. Mad Matt, all done in the best possible taste. Cupid stunt. So he's there like an American general with all these, 4. So he's got, does somebody want to tell him? Active service medals, yes, he's got one of them for Afghanistan. Not because his gran had, who's, Rexana, are you new to the body of the Kirk? Because I think you've jumped in, both feet, loving it, thinking, whoa, I'll have a bit of this. So, Rexana, welcome to the body of the Kirk. Yeah, wrongin'. No, not that Duke, different Duke. Not the Duke of Earl either. So, Ginger Sphericals is kind of standing there near his back door. And I never knew he was a bit of a backdoor boy. But evidently, he's royal. Army, Air Force or Navy. If he's a backdoor boy, definitely a Navy boy. So he was wearing his one active service. Now, Active service means he was playing on a PlayStation in a tent with his royal protection squad around him, and everybody else was on the front line. Oh no, can't have a royal blood prince killed in Afghanistan, can we? Evidently not. Although he killed 25 Taliban, according to his book Spare. And the three others are like Silver Jubilee, Golden Jubilee, Diamond Jubilee for his gran. That's not active service. That don't make you, Johnny Big Sphericals. It just means that, well, you're at it, you ginger twat. Oh, sorry, did I speak that out loud? But he could have worn 5. He could have worn 5, and 5 would have been his father's coronation medal. Now, you know that it's like, they're just like children spitting their dummies out and going, to you, father, to you. I'm going to have a photograph taken, and I'm not going to wear my coronation medal. Up yours, father. Oh, seemingly somebody that's supposed to be related to me. I'm a blood prince. Well, technically, mother of the future king, but not a future king, if you catch me drift. So, he's just, I've taken off my coronation medal and I'm not a fan, says Ginger Sphericals. His bloody tea's horrid. So, I can confirm Prince Harry is a backdoor man, because he was standing at his back door when he was singing the praises of an American armed personnel. And he's going to come across in 3rd of May. Oh, this week. Oh, my word. Harry, Ginger Sphericals is going to be here. So let me give you the pop shot. Let me give you what you've all been waiting for. So, what happened on Friday? I'm going to ask you a few questions because this is, it's interactive. It's interactive. So what happened on Friday, 6 o'clock? Let me tell you. King Charles, Freudian slip, King Charles III released a press statement about his cancer and about, well, he's going to meet a few folk. 6 o'clock on a Friday. Now, in the words of that great Chinese philosopher, how do we end shite, man? It's normally 11 o'clock on a morning. The royals always release stuff at 11 o'clock. You want to know why? Because they get the East Coast of America waking up, and then the rest of the day, it goes through the day. They get all of the lunchtime and evening news channel programs here. I mean, I know it's 24-hour news, but 6 o'clock on a Friday. You know what that is, don't you? 6 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. That's when you bury bad news. So what could have been the bad news? Hang on. 3 of the funniest showbiz people that I've met. Is that met or is that interviewed? Hang on. 3 funniest. Who was the... I'm just going to write this down and continue my story in a second. Jasper... Oh, who was the guy in... Oh, Jeremy Vine's brother. I can never remember his name. Right, I'll answer that in a second. I want to talk about... So, Friday afternoon, best time to bury bad news, 6 o'clock on a Friday evening. And King Charles, king of the land, king of this sceptred isle, says we're releasing a press release at 6 o'clock on a Friday, not really getting any coverage. So it's all over the newspapers on the Saturday. I mean, Saturday, it was literally, he was everywhere. Thank you, Tim Vine. Who said that? Thank you, Stuart. And I thought to myself, there's a rabbit away here. Because remember, ages ago, just before Easter, the week in March, just before Easter, we were told that Catherine, Princess of Wales, would be returning to royal duty April 27th. Now, for me and you, the harder thinking, cheers, Scotty, that was yesterday. That was the day where King Charles, I need to stop saying that, King Charles was all over the press. Why would they do that? Oh, come on. You know why? Because they think we're thick. Girth, yes. Intellect, no. So they thought that we were going to go, oh, it's King Charles on the front of the newspapers. Wonderful, wobbly head. No. We were and that's why, you know this channel. That's why I keep all of my newspapers in an archive, because I then go and reference them. So I've done some research for 2 videos over this weekend that's taken quite a long time, but I've done it and taken pictures for a purpose, and those videos are coming. Now, Charlie, he knows what he's doing because he's the king. He's been the prince, the longest waiting prince in bloody history. I mean, seemingly they found another body of some king from like 300 or 400 AD. And so we've got a lineage of kings back to at least 900, before Athelstan. Alfred the Great in the 900s and Athelstan 920 odd. So we have got a defined lineage of kings. So King Charles, one of the oldest bloodlines on planet Earth, has the power, has soft power, has financial power, has all kinds of power. Military, any kind you wish, he's got the power. 6 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, Charlie. I mean, all the PR execs, when they're running around shouting at Charlie, they weren't meaning you. They were looking for their weekend bolster. So that took every other royal story off the front pages, it was all over the press. Now, these idiots that call themselves journalists, the propaganda peddlers, they're all, all these trolls. So seemingly I'm a troll. Tell you something, don't take their BS, not by a long stretch. Kenny Thomas, great singer, used to be a boxer, don't argue with him. So they're saying, we need to kowtow, we need to tug our forelock or something and respect the royal family. Feck off. I know what they're doing, because they knew that 5 or 6 weeks ago, when Prince William and Princess Catherine are taking the children, are going to take some time away because of Catherine's health. It's all the narrative because of Catherine's health. So they took the kids away, and then a picture appears. AI-generated video appears. And then Prince Louis appears. And then, we've got Prince William at various things. He appears, but they're not the ones we want to see. We want this question answered. And here's the kicker coming. I hope you're sitting down, because this is really going to frighten you. We want to know what's going on, because we know there's something going on, because it's not what they're saying, it's what they're not saying that matters. Sorry, I'm getting a little direct with you. I do apologise. As a reverend, I should know better. But let me tell you, do you know what tomorrow is? And don't say Monday, otherwise you'll be ejected out the church. Yeah, wrong 'un. Tomorrow is William and Catherine's 13th wedding anniversary. Tomorrow, 13 years ago, they got married. April 29th. And let me put these frighteners on you. Kensington Palace have come out and said, no, they won't be doing anything public. They'll be celebrating in private. I bet they bloody are. Bet she's dead. I bet you Catherine is either dead or close to it. Because the one thing that everybody in the Sceptred Isles wants is just her out in a video. Not AI generated, a proper video. That we can go, oh, thank goodness for that. But why would they? Who's that? Amalia. Wish your dad a very happy 85th birthday from everyone in the body of the Kirk and the channel, please. Happy birthday to Amalia's dad. Why would they, knowing what the people that they serve, seemingly, not the other way around, they serve us. We pay, they pose. Why would they do nothing for their 13th wedding anniversary? 13 unlucky for anyone? The royal family, I'm telling you this could be the death of the royal family, metaphorically, in 2024, because they are brassing the people that pay off. Why would Kensington Palace turn round and say, oh, I say, no, no. Prince William and Princess Catherine, no, we're not going to allow the public to see them. Why would we want to do that? Let them celebrate in private. No, let's not celebrate in private. 5 weeks, we want to know where she is. We want to know who she's with. We want to stop all the rumours about an affair and somebody being shot dead because of the affair. Let's just squash those rumours, shall we? Look, if Ginger Sphericals can stand by his back door with all of his medals on the breast of his jacket, why can't we have Prince William and Princess Catherine just appearing for 10 seconds without Dad going, oh, that bloody man. Remember that? When they were all skiing? Yeah, have the pop shot, have the skiing shot. There you go. Thanks, lads. Off you go. We're going skiing with a bit of glühwein. Loads of glühwein. Harry's like, yeah, glühwein, baby. So why can't we just have the shot? Now, let me just reiterate to you that the reportage that I have in my possession, because what they do, they just peddle propaganda, and then they turn around and go, no, we didn't say that, you're wrong. We didn't say that at all. Well, yes, you bloody did, because I've got it, and I'm going to publish it on this channel tomorrow. Hang on. Lauren Taylor. Not often I disagree with you, Adrian, but I pray you're wrong. I pray. Lauren, I agree with you. Look, I'm not one that wishes ill on anyone. But in the words of that great Chinese philosopher, I'm too old a cat to be fucked by a kitten. I know the deal. I've worked in the media. I've worked in printed media. I've worked in television. I was nearly a Channel 5 talk show host at one point. That's another story I might tell you later. And I also worked in PR, public relations. I've worked for the royal family. So I don't want anything to happen to our royal family. I'm very proud of our royal family. I'm very proud of our history in this island or these islands. I'm very, very proud. And we're being told one thing, and then a couple of weeks later we're being told another. Now the royals have access to the best talent in the world ever, in any field. I worked with a guy who, first time I met him, I don't now, this was 2017 or 2019 when I worked with him, and he said to me, oh yeah, I'm a skiing instructor. I was like, oh yeah, can you give me some tips? I'm pants at skiing. He said, oh, sure. So we talked skiing all the time we were together. And then he just let drop. He said, oh yes, I was a skiing instructor for Prince Edward. And I said to him, really? I mean, he was a good-looking guy, like a seriously good-looking, drop-dead gorgeous for the girls. And I was like, well, I can get that because they have nice eye candy. The royals don't have ugly people serving them. They have, like, beautiful people. So let me nail my colours firmly to the flagpost. I know that we were told via the mainstream media, because I have it in print as corroborative evidence, that Catherine had an operation. And from that operation, cancerous cells were found. She doesn't have cancer. She had pre-cancerous cells. So the treatment that seemingly she was undergoing was to treat that. She wasn't diagnosed with cancer pre-operation. It was once they took out what they took out, and I don't need to go into any more detail because all the mainstream media know what the operation was. Once they got that out and then examined what they took out, that's when they found the precancerous cells. And then the propaganda started, because this is back in January. This has been going on almost 5 months. This cat and mouse, where people just, look, we want our royal family to have integrity. We don't want this, we don't want the Meghan and Harry style royal family, because that's just celebrity. Anybody can be a celebrity, but to be a member of the royal family is to be revered. And I wish Princess Catherine well. But the only thing, personally, in my view, that is required to stop all of this silliness, give us a video of Catherine with Prince William and with the children doing a walkie-talkie in any of the palaces that they wish, because they've got quite a few of them, and just tell us. But anybody questioning the narrative, oh, the bloody trolls are out again. How very dare they? What are they doing? No, we're just asking very pertinent questions that really need answering. And anything else, you can foxtrot Oscar. Fred says, I guessed it would all go belly up after Queen Elizabeth II departed. I think Queen Elizabeth II also knew Charles the Weak. And I know that somebody posted on the internet that Lady C, who has quite a good in with the royal family, was asked about Charles's health, didn't answer. So, GB Patriot has posted a few times on these sermons in the body of the Kirk on a Sunday and a Wednesday at 8 p.m. Promo. He said, Charlie's got pancreatic cancer. He's only got 18 months left. So that rumour is being promulgated across the internet. And every time you see Charlie, his eyes are bloodshot red. So that's all we need. William and Kate's 13th wedding anniversary tomorrow, the 29th of April. And it would have been really easy to mock something up, invite the press over to Windsor or Buckingham Palace, do it in the garden, do a walkie-talkie, have a nominated spokesperson to stick a microphone up under their noses going, Prince of Wales, Prince William, Princess Catherine, how's the last 5 months been for you? Are you on the mend, Princess Catherine? Can we kowtow and tug forelock and... All right, Mad Matt. Very good question. Adrian, if cancer cells were found and Catherine treated, what makes you think she's at death's door and what got her there? I've no idea what got her there, but it wasn't the operation in January. That's categorical. She should still be alive. Bovril says it would have been better if Princess Anne was made queen. That would have been interesting. So what makes me think that Princess Catherine could be near death's door? Because the AI video that they generated was, there's too many skilled people out in the great unwashed. Buckingham Palace has already stated Charles has been diagnosed with cancer. However, they refuse to say which. Of course, it's not his prostate. They've said categorically, it's not his prostate. But I said that the rumours are online, and I don't wish to be subject to rumours. But this is really, really, really easy to knock into the long grass. Just say, all the wrong uns. No, it's not prostate cancer. It's cancer of. And then it just, and we wish the king well. We wish the king well and long life. And these people Oh, no, can't tell you. No. It's like, are they trying to say that the chief exec of Great Britannia is unwell and dying and makes us as a country weak? No, it doesn't. It makes us compassionate. It makes us empathetic. It makes us the subjects to the crown who wish the king well. And look, if there's going to be a kind of soft relaunch with Billy Big Sphericals, then, King Billy, that's not been heard in a few hundred years. So if King Billy makes the throne, and at this rate, he's not going to get there. They're killing off the royal family. Now, is this the plan? Because remember, you've got King Charles, friends with Klaus Schwab. The Nazi. No. I'm friends with Klaus. Very, very entertaining guy. Yes, very, very, very. He's in with all the in crowds, baby. Hang on, who's saying that? Andy Turner. Ooh, hang on. I'll write that one down. That's a great question. So this would be very easy to knock all of the rumours, all of the supposition into the long grass. Mick Rosh, do you know? Because we don't know, do we? And there has been Prince Edward, disappeared for a week and nobody said what. Was he having his blood washed? Nobody knows what happened to Princess Anne. She'd be like, oh, Foxtrot Oscar, the lot of you. No, it's my private life. You can go and stuff it. And she's definitely her dad's daughter, definitely, which is wonderful. I mean, it's robust and entertaining, and she's fabulous. But it's this dance of life that we're having at the moment where they're not telling us the truth. So tomorrow, they've had weeks, almost months, to set this up, knowing what the calendar was, knowing what they could have done, and they could have, unless she's dead. I mean, are they going to regrow a Princess Catherine somewhere in a lab? They had Dolly the sheep in Edinburgh, so they can make anything they want. Imagine a clone of Princess Catherine. Looks the same, doesn't speak much. So why haven't they taken this opportunity to celebrate 13th wedding anniversary in public? And you will notice you never saw anything relating to that anywhere in the printed media today. And these Sunday editions are burgeoning with information. There's loads of stuff in there. And they didn't put anything in about Prince William and Princess Catherine. The other thing that I'm looking for, there is a piece of footage of Prince William about 4 weeks after Catherine had gone into hospital. And he was doing an investiture. And he walked, the footage is he is walking in the palace, and he's walking towards the camera, and he's hanging a right to go onto the pedestal, the plinth, for him to sort of knight people and invest part of the investiture. Brilliant. And you can see he's unsteady on his feet. He's got massive black circles around his eyes. And then he stands there. He's got to do 2 or 3 or 4 hours just, trying to not lock people's ears off and heads off and stuff. Oh, sorry. Did I get your nose? But he wasn't very well. And since then, we've had all kinds of stuff that evidently they don't want us to know. So David Icke says, bless him. Let me tell you, David Icke, I've interviewed David. And we had a great interview. It's on the net somewhere, but this is blimey, 20 years ago. And the thing that saved David Icke's life was he said that the royals were lizards. Because if he continued down that road without people going, oh, he's the lizard man, isn't he? That bloke that says the royal family are all lizards. And because it was so fantastical and couldn't be true, or could it? That saved his life. Boston breaks, anyone? So I get that William and Catherine, Prince William, Prince of Wales, and Princess Catherine, the Princess of Wales, they don't celebrate the same way as you and I, and possibly might have altered the way that they're going to celebrate due to Kate's health. And because of Kate's health, there won't be a public commemoration of any kind. Quote from Kensington Palace. Do you want me to give you that again? The Prince and Princess of Wales won't celebrate in the same way due to Kate's health. There won't be a public commemoration of any kind. If it walks like a duck, waddles like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So the royals have only got themselves to blame. Exactly. And just watch tomorrow. Get Matt Letizia on, Adrian. Ooh, Mick. Yeah, hang on, make a note. Yeah, I know what Matt's up to. We could go conspiracy heavy with Matt. Remember, I've got 40 odd years at this game. It would be a great interview. Just kind of going off on tangents. But please, as I say to you, watch what happens tomorrow. Watch it. Last Sunday of the month, their wedding anniversary. They're doing nout. Had away, man. What do they think we are? Stupid? Great unwashed? I mean, I'm not as rich. By a country mile. But it's all going to kick off tomorrow. They're not doing anything for their 13th wedding anniversary. Are they still together? Are the rumours true that there's a divorce on the cards? That Catherine's had enough? Is Harry Enfield and the Windsor's endgame true? Catherine Two Cocks. How they got away with that, I'll never know. But it's satire, I get that. And comedy. But please, respect. I'm going to ask you a question before we continue. But first question. Which is the greatest... Now, and this is not a one for yes and two for no. This is actually answering you're wrong. But which is the greatest British sitcom? Because there's reviews appearing of Fawlty Towers. I don't know whether it's a musical or whether it's a play, but which is the greatest British sitcom? Fawlty Towers is coming to the West End. Is it Fawlty Towers? Is it Only Fools and Horses? Is it Dad's Army? Rising Damp, Only Fools. Peep Show, you pervert. Only Fools, I'm just teasing you, Oroka Yes, Minister, Mind Your Language, Only Fools and Horses for me. Cool, blimey. On the Buses, there was a great British sitcom. Battler, Dad's Army, Only Fools. Ooh, interesting. Now, it doesn't necessarily, as is evident from the comments, it doesn't have to be what I've suggested. It could be anything. But what would be the greatest British sitcom? Look forward to your votes. Mine, I mean, I would love to go and see Fawlty Towers on stage just to see what it's like. Arthur, Bottom, Archers, Mind Your Language. Oh, that's actually getting quite a few. That was what was the French female in Mind Your Language? Cool, that was of its time. Mind Your Language. That was proper of its time. Alf Garnett. Ooh, Roy. West Ham. Did they win yesterday? I know Spursy did the Spursy thing and got beat 3-2 today by Arsenal. Oof. Tough if you're a North London footy fan. That tea is shite. I need to. I've sort of eased you in, but I need to get really serious now. I've eased you in. I'm going to give you a couple of. Before we get back to some lighter stuff, I need to get into a couple of very serious issues. One. Now, this is tucked away in all of the Sundays today, and I've read most of them. 24 Pakistani Muslims have been jailed for a total of 346 years. Are you aware of that? Not front page news. It's not even in the front half of most of the newspapers. It's tucked away, so you'll miss it. 24. Now they're saying, some people are saying Asian. I am factually correct by saying that it's 24 Pakistani Muslims. 346 years to a total. Steptoe and Son's another good one. Rape and trafficking victims between 1999 and 2012. And most of the victims lived or resided around Batley and Dewsbury. Now, the reporting restrictions were lifted on Friday for trials that have been held over the last couple of years. So what they've done is, instead of all the reportage in the news cycle for 2 years, they've done all of the trials and then they've lifted reporting restrictions so that you can get some sense. 24 Pakistani Muslims jailed for 346 years. And that's not deemed front page news? What is going on in our country? Yeah, I know Tommy's been following it, but it's very easy to kind of throw it over the fence and say, oh, you know, Tommy Robinson's been doing this, and I'm not suggesting anybody here is doing that, but it's very easy for the newspapers and the mainstream media to just kind of get rid of it really easily by saying, oh, yes, we know. And what they've done is they've announced it this weekend. Tomorrow morning, it's gone. It's finished. That particular report, that particular part of the news cycle, which at the moment is 24 hours at the most, gone. Happened on Friday, reported today, Monday, 13th anniversary of Prince William and Princess Catherine's wedding day. Gone. And they'll use something else. King Charles III will come out. Oh, yes, I can't wait to ride a horse again. That's no way to speak of Camilla. Andy Turner says, Adrian, have you got an interview that you've done where you've interviewed them and thought, wow, what a cock. But actually, they've turned into either nice people or really great people, or I've had a few of those. Do you know who I've brushed a few people off because of my sort of music anarchism, but I don't know whether you can remember Prefab Sprout from the 80s. I mean, they crafted some beautiful songs. And I think I've told you this before. It was one of my toughest interviews because Paddy McAloon, as genius as he is painfully shy. And I don't know why they brought him out to go around the radio stations and be interviewed. But they wanted to promote his latest album. So he came in and he was, you know, he was fine, talking sort of like one-to-one. But the minute the red light went on and the microphone went on, he just clammed up. And I was telling this other story to someone yesterday. Disney was flying me and a camera crew and a team out to Disney World in Florida. And we were being flown out there to interview the stars of, can you remember the film Dick Tracy? So it was Warren Beatty, Dustin Hoffman, some other great luminaries from Hollywood, and Madonna. So I'd managed to bag myself an interview with Madonna. And her publicist, Liz Rosenberg, was engaged. It was fine. Everything was going on. We just had to get out to Disney World, and we were going to interview Madonna on part of the film site that they had set around the park. They closed the park off one night so that all the press and media from around the world could just go and do all the rides without any queues. I mean, no expense was spared. And they had some of the props and stuff from Dick Tracy, and they had some of the setups of some of the scenes. And we got out there, and we were supposed to be out there for 5 days. Premiere of Arachnophobia film. I don't know whether you remember it. And then I was out doing some filming in the park. And I was staying in the Dolphin Hotel at Disney World. And the Swan Hotel is directly opposite. And I got a call from Liz Rosenberg, Madonna's publicist, saying, interview's off. Interview's off. And the reason why the interview was off was because Disney, the company, thought that the minute the press turned to Madonna and started interviewing Madonna, getting all the Madonna interviews out into the media sphere, that the press and publicity for Dick Tracy and Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman would literally be kicked under the truck. So they stopped everybody, worldwide media, not allowed to interview Madonna. And I was like, I said to the cameraman, what do we do? What do we do? I said, I've heard rumours from staff that Madonna is staying in the Swan Hotel in one of the presidential suites. He said, hang on a second. So we went into his suite, got the camera that he was using, which had a huge lens on it. And we could see Madonna. We spotted Madonna in the presidential suite of the Swan Hotel opposite the Dolphin, just padding around. I said to him, you can't do that, man. If we get found out. And he's like, no, I'm not filming. I'm just using the camera to see. And she's there. There she is. Have a look. So I get back to Liz and says, we know Madonna's in the park. We've seen her. Why can't we have the interview? Can't. High level, Disney, cut the knees off. You can speak to Warren Beatty and you interview Dustin Hoffman. So Dustin Hoffman had just been out to London to do some stage work. And I just happened to be, the red carpet where all the reporters go, hey, Mr. Hoffman. So I shouted, Mr. Hoffman, in my best English voice. And he literally went, whoa, hang on a second, that's not American. And he came over and he said, you English? Do you want me to be? He laughed and he went, it's lovely to hear your accent. I've just been blah, blah, blah. And we did literally 5 minutes on the red carpet, just simply because he heard my English accent. Interviewed Warren Beatty, of course, but the one that... So I don't know whether this is answering your question, Andy, but the interview that was a cock but turned into greatness, I would say Paddy McAloon. The one that got away, the big fish that got away, that was organised and then it fell through, was Madonna. And that was 1990? I think so. Back in the 1990, when Dick Tracy, just before Dick Tracy was released worldwide. And that was such a shame. I could have given Madonna the best 30 seconds of her life. There was another question. 3 funniest people that I've ever interviewed. I interviewed Jasper Carrott in the 80s. You see, comedians. I did Ben Elton I'll rephrase that. I interviewed Ben Elton for something we were doing at Rock FM in Preston, and he was at the Empire Theatre in Sunderland. So I had to drive across all the way, get to him, do a quick piece, and then drive all the way back. I mean, it was torturous. But Ben Elton was gentle. He was a gentleman, gave us what we needed. But I preferred the clever comedians. So Tim Vine is just he's a one-line gagmeister. Warren Beatty, clouds in his coffee. I bet there were. And hers. Bet she drank it though. Phil Cool. So Tim Vine was the one-line gagmeister, and interviewed him at Talk 107 in Edinburgh during the Edinburgh Festival. Phil Cool was painfully shy and was doing, I think this was on Radio T's into TFM, and he was painfully shy. But a lovely guy to boot, a real nice guy. So I've interviewed quite a few comedians, national names. I think they would be my three favourites: Jasper, Phil, and Tim Vine, with a little, just simply because he was a gentleman. Ben Elton, he wasn't that kind of loudmouth gag cracker from Friday night, Saturday night TV. Harry Enfield. I met Harry, didn't interview him, but again, I don't know whether it's sort of out of context, but he was in the radio station, and again, painfully shy. Most of the great talents are. They're not switched on all day, every day. Even when they come to do a presser, or they're being interviewed by print or radio, they're just very talented people in their own sphere. So I would say those three, and if I can remember any others, and there's quite a few, it's scary how many interviews I've actually done. I'm trying to think of. I have loads of favourites. Some of them are not big names. Hang on a second. Andy says, also, have you or a presenter thought you were off air and said stuff about a caller but realised they could hear you or said it live? No, because doing a phone in, you have 7 second delay. So if you kind of go, what was the line that we? So there was a newsreader that came into the studio to do a bulletin, and the presenter, who both of whom shall remain nameless, was playing Kim Wilde, Love is a Four-Letter Word. So he opened the microphone and said, just before, say, the 11 o'clock news, he said, yeah, Kim Wilde, Love is a Four-Letter Word, pulled the microphone down, the fader down, so it's just off the backstop. And forgive my language. And he said, so's the word Kim Wilde, love is a four-letter word, so's the word fuck. And because the speakers were cut off in the studio, because he still had his mic open, but just off the backstop, she went, thinking he just said full and consenting carnal knowledge on the radio. Marty Wilde, have you got a dad's autograph? No. Marty? No. The thing is, I never really asked for, and I regret this now, I didn't really ask any of the stars for their autograph because I thought it was a bit wanky, really. I mean, they might do now. I wish that the mobile phone had been around and I'd been able to take pictures. I've got pictures with cameras, but I wish I'd been able to just snap them. When I was in America doing like a Dick Tracy press junket, they were anybody that I interviewed. I was interviewing directors and I don't know, key grips and stuff to do with film and the scenes. They were all taking pictures of everybody that interviewed them, because obviously there might be somebody famous. Not me. There might be somebody famous doing some of the interviews. So it was all, I just wish that we'd had mobile phones so I could take more pictures. Because there's a lot of people who say, oh yeah, I've interviewed, I don't know, King Charles. And people go, yeah, right. No, I have. Have you got any corroborating evidence? No. Oh, Amalia, isn't that clever? Amalia says, retrospectively, AI them. Ooh. So I like having corroborative evidence. And because I don't, apart from when you ask questions here, I don't really kind of go for Johnny Big Bollocks. don't, because it means nothing. But I'd quite happily tell you stories. Yeah, Lauren Taylor says, naff is the word. I think that's much more appropriate. Thank you, Lauren. But it was in the 70s and 80s just the most fantastic career with so many opportunities that the grifters realised they could get loads of freebies, because it was, in my day, ligging and blagging, and you could get loads of free stuff. Literally anything you could get free, as long as you put the graft in. I think there are lots of moments where I wish I'd had a camera. One of them was standing on the same balcony as the Beatles at EMI's headquarters. I just wish I'd had somebody standing on the ground that could have kind of taken the picture upwards. That literally is the one moment. And if you fast forward a few years, going to Abbey Road, the studios, Studio 2, where the Beatles recorded, and some of the pictures that I've got there literally are the most precious and the most valuable. They're just pictures, but to me, they're more than that, much, much more than that. There's not, I mean, I've been clubbing Manchester and the Northeast and the Northwest with very famous people. And I mean, I'm zero tolerance around recreational stuff. Never done it, never tried it, never will. Not as much as a cigarette, not interested. It's not for me. And there was one huge star that was desperate for a bit of Colombian. And I said to the club owner, and I'm not going to mention the club, the owner, the area, or anything. I said to him, look, he's looking for a bit of the marching powder. Sure enough, about 10 minutes later, in the VIP area, this huge star comes bounding in, and I thought, hey, here we go. He's on the sniff. And it kind of kicked my pluffer in, because I had such respect. But they're just human beings. They are just human beings, talented in a particular area. And, you know, people around the world will love them. And I'm trying to think of some of the other big stars, because literally from about 84 through to when I was at Liberty in London, I mean, everybody just wanted a bit of profile. Ooh, that's a great question. Andrew James. No, was it Andrew James? Is it Hayden? Do you have a prized possession that you have from your years on the radio that you value above all else, even a special memory? I think the EMI records. Thank you, Rich. Thank you very much. I think the EMI records balcony really stands out. I remember seeing big American stars at the Tyne Tees TV Friday night show, whose name escapes me for the moment. The Tube. So we were broadcasting on Teesside, and we were given carte blanche. We could go up and talk to anybody that was appearing, certainly the Americans that were appearing at the Tube. And we could go up to Newcastle, watch the dress rehearsals during the day. And I just remember, maybe you know her, maybe you don't, Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan and her band were playing the Tube on the Friday night. I think they only did 2-3 songs. And I remember listening to her band, and still to this day, the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, because she's insanely talented, very troubled nowadays, but insanely talented. And I just listened to the band. It's one of the tightest, just insane. And they're using foldback speakers, if you know what I'm talking about. They're just using foldback speakers in telly, and they definitely weren't miming. Absolutely, categorically, definitely weren't miming. I think I was at the Royal Albert Hall for a Disco Mix Club convention, and briefly was in the company of James Brown and Janet Jackson. Not together, obviously. Might have been separate DMC conventions, but I had a private box at the Albert Hall. James Brown, again, just doing it to death, baby. Oy, 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 oy. One of the greatest musical artists in the history of mankind. Janet Jackson's no slouch either. Who else? I think I'll have to have a think about that one, because there's a lot to get through tonight. Who else? There's been so many. In fact, not only... What's my prized possession? That was the question. What's my prized possession? It would be my VIP pass for Abbey Road. Not necessarily during my radio years, but most recently, in the last 5 or 6 years, it is by any stretch. I literally could have sat in Studio 2 where the Beatles recorded and sobbed like a little fanboy. Just... God, I've interviewed that many people and all over the place. In fact, there was one of the most traumatic interviews that I ever did was I've got... Where is it? Oh, it's up there. Can you see that picture there? There? I'm not sure you can. Yeah. That picture there is me in the Stanley Street studios of Radio City in Liverpool. In fact, I'll give you 2 interviews. One was Bros at Radio City, and they were good look. As a man, I can appreciate good-looking boys, men rather, not. And the Goss brothers were, just the women that would flock all over them. All the women in the building. The women were really, really, really gone on. These are just the 2 lads. I owe you nothing, and Grolsch bottle tops on their Doc Marten shoes. But the women just went all unnecessary over them. I wish I had been that good looking, because cool, blimey. So Bros, and the other one was that picture that you can see is 4 Chippendales, and they came into my afternoon show on Radio City. And I have never in all my born days felt so threatened. Women were sending in body parts. It had to be fax in those days. No real email. When was this? 92. And the Chippendales came in, and we were getting dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of fax. And the girls were lively in Liverpool. Scouts girls, cool. And I just said to them, do you get this all the time? And all they were interested in was asking me about, oh yeah, have you got any pet shop boys? Have you got any erasure? Big clue. And I was like, are you sure? But women were coming to reception at Stanley Street, trying to get into the studios to meet with the Chippendales. It was a big thing back in the early 90s. Chippendales. I don't mean the furniture, evidently. But that was... I've never felt so uncomfortable from what was coming from outside to in. Matt... Yeah, is it Matt Goss doing the Vegas jazz thing? Always had a good voice. And his brother was in some of the vampire movies. I can't remember which one, but they're both talented guys. The talented can put their hand to anything. It doesn't have to be just the singing stuff. But let's get on with some political stuff that I want you to keep an eye open for. Katy Price. She's not the brightest, is she? Now, I'm not going to be disrespectful, but I am. So, Katy Price, she was due in court the other day, and everybody's like, where's she? Turns out, she was in Cyprus on holiday, but that's not what her assistant told the court. Now, evidently, she must think, that's Katy, she must think she can do whatever she wants, and not get found out. So the judge says to her assistant, where is she? And the assistant says, oh, she can't attend court today, my lord, due to anxiety and depression. Turns out, she'd done a runner off to Cyprus with a boyfriend for some R&R. She's been told, you better turn up for the next hearing, May 3rd. So this week, when's Thursday? I mean, can you imagine just going to the court? Stuff you. I'm off on my holidays. I mean, I'd jail her just for those wretched eyebrows. Who in their right mind thinks that those eyebrows look attractive? They don't. Not to my peepers, they don't. I mean, it's I know manners maketh man, and it's rude to stare, but sometimes I just think, thank you, Terry, Friday the 3rd, thank you. I'm so glad you keep me right. It's, thank you, Mad Matt, yeah, all right, I get it, you're wrong. So, what do you mean, you're so glad I said eyebrows? Who said that? Shannon McBride, you're wrong. I'm always a gentleman, mate. So, yes, I am. So, those... You know, we can link Katy Price to the boat people that come across in the dinghies. Because you know that it's mainly Afghans and Vietnamese. And the Vietnamese are coming across. Have you noticed how many nail bars and brow bars are being set up? And it's all Vietnamese. So, somebody have a word with Katy Price and tell her, here, Katy, man, what's going on with those eyebrows? No! They just make you look stupid. Can I tell you about the modern day Nostradamus? I want to tell you this to put it on your radar. Because I kind of read the newspaper so you don't have to. Because it is all just propaganda peddlers. The modern day Nostradamus, I can't remember his name. It's just off the top of my head, and I made these notes just before I came on air. Seemingly, there's going to be 3 days of darkness in 2024. Not that it's being set up or anything, but could it be a coronal mass ejection? That's not a euphemism. Before you start, we could have one of those in the body of the Kirk. We'd all get arrested, but what fun we'd have. Coronal mass ejection. And I just thought, well, hang on a second. If they're sort of letting it out now, we're nearly into the 5th month of the year. When's that going to happen? Like, is the sun just thinking, is it about the right time? Are we keeping them all in fear now, lads? Should we have just like a coronal mass ejection, and then it kind of takes a few hours to get to Earth? But isn't that what the Earth set up not to do? It just kind of, gravity and stuff in the Van Allen belt will just make it go around the globe and off. And so the coronal mass ejection won't hit us. But 3 days of darkness in 2024. Is it all to keep us in fear? The wrong ones? I mean... I was saying to you a couple of weeks ago that I talked about anarchy and how that's never going to work because they're just going to inject more poison. They're just going to inject more fear and make you fearful so you won't be anarchy. Anarchy died out with the punks. But what's wrong with a bit of rebellion? Just letting your truth be known. Just saying to them, oi, join Katie Hopkins' band of followers, all have the same aim. Church all them, eh? Too quick for me, Amalia. So this 3 days of darkness, and it's come from somebody who's predicted some other stuff. Oh yes, psychic. Yes, I can see dead people. Give me the lottery numbers, you wrong'un. Because the newspaper headlines that you will never see. Psychic wins lottery. But this is Nostradamus and his quatrains, and he's seen 500 years into the future. And this modern day Nostradamus, as they are entitling them, 3 days of darkness in 2024. No computers, no electrics, no phones, no nothing. You'll have nothing. You'll need a Faraday cage to put things in and protect them. And you just think, here, mate, man, just give me the bloody lottery numbers. If you're that clever and that good, just give just one lottery, preferably the Americans. It's richer than the one Darren Brown, yeah. As he said, it's not Darren Brown. He's not the modern-day Nostradamus. He's just a very, very clever boy. He's not the Messiah. You knew I was going to say that. So the other thing I wanted to tell you about, and I can't stop laughing. I literally burst my incontinence pants when I read this. Do you know there is an international criminal court? Yeah. Thank you. Now, they've issued an arrest warrant. The International Criminal Court have issued arrest warrants. Who for, Adrian? Who for? Well, Andrew Tate, I think, is in court this week. It's not him. Elon Musk is friends with the Chinese, so it's not him. Joe Biden, there's about half a dozen of them, and he's got his money well hidden. It's not him. Donald Trump, the next president of the United States, not him. They're set to issue arrest warrants for senior Israeli figures. One, Benjamin Netanyahu, quelle surprise, and Yoav Gallant. So Biden and the US are peddling furiously and doing everything in their power to stop it. They don't want Netanyahu arrested because they're making money out of him. So Bibi, quote, and remember, as long as he stays in power as a war president, prime minister, whatever, he don't get arrested. He doesn't get lynched by the Israelis. Because when he went in for his hernia, it only took them hours, and they were demonstrating on the streets of Israel trying to get rid of Netanyahu, and he's come back out of hospital going, right, you wrong uns. No, I'm in charge. And he said about this International Criminal Court, under my leadership, Israel will never accept any attempt by the ICC, that's the International Criminal Court, to undermine its inherent right to self-defense. Who's attacking them? Houthis? No. Gazans? No. Iran? No, don't be silly. So under Bibi's leadership, that's evidently why they've issued arrest warrants for this clown, because he's one of the most evil men on planet Earth. Unless you're talking about Joe Biden, of course. Him and his masks. So keep an eye on that this week. International Criminal Court issuing arrest warrants for Bibi Netanyahu. Funny as. And history will not view him well. I might not be here. I'll have shuffled off and gone to play me harp and wear me wings and me halo. Amalia's saying, I'm coming. I'm counting on my win to come in. I think everybody is, Amalia. So, and you know how the press are promulgating this narrative that all the police are corrupt. So they managed to squeeze this one in. Mind you, some cops are not blessed with the greatest intelligence quotient. But there's this thieving cop in Lincolnshire. So he goes into work and goes, oh, there's a nice jacket there. I'll have that. So he thieves this jacket. And what kind of clown is bright enough to wear the same jacket into the same police station 3 days later? And the other cops go, where'd you get that? What do you mean? It's mine. What do you mean it's yours? It was nicked 3 days ago. You're wrongin'. Have you nicked another cop's jacket? So he gets done. So thieves a jacket from his workplace, wears the same jacket to his workplace 3 days later. So in Gainsborough police station in Lincolnshire, he's admitted the theft and given a community order. Bang goes his career. You literally cannot make that up. If somebody put that in a book, people will go, nah, don't be silly. That's not real. Oh, I think you find it is. Can I tell you about, because again, we just kind of lighten it up after some seriousness. Have you heard of these Gen Z slackers at Cambridge University? This is, I've said this to you before. Loads and loads and loads of Gen Z. Here, there's the rifle. There's the uniform. You're off to Ukraine. You're a conscript. You're going to fight in Ukraine. What do you mean? What we're fighting in Ukraine for? Because that's where you're going. You've been conscripted. There's already French conscripts in Ukraine. There's French fighters there. And there's the French. This hasn't been reported either. There's either a vote, I can't get to it because it's in my phone, but there's either a vote or something going on around a vote for a sister dying in France. And yet the British haven't reported that. It's like over the water. It's just over there, man. Couple of miles away. Poof. Don't have to go to Switzerland. So the French have either voted it or are going to vote on it over the next few days. Oh, there's the BBC News. Israel and Iran came close to the abyss with their exchange of fire. Oh, my word. Here, BBC, Foxtrot Oscar. You're making it up, man. It's all propaganda. So, look, I'll give you the deal with this BS that's happening in the Middle East. One, it's not about self-determination and self-defense. No, it's about the bloody oil and gas under the Gaza Strip, under the East Mediterranean Sea. And now you've got Bibi and the Israelis building a road that literally cuts the Gaza Strip in half from the east of Israel to the very west and the Mediterranean Sea. And there's the Americans building a port. Oh, we're doing it in the name of aid. We're bringing aid in from Cyprus for the Gazans, this particular temporary port that we're just putting up halfway at the Gaza Strip. It's BS. It is BS. Now, this information is freely available in the public domain. Have you seen it? I have, because my eyes are open. And I didn't go to Specsavers. So, the oil and the gas, trillions of cubic meters, billions of barrels of oil under the Gaza Strip. And that's what the Israelis are after. But more importantly, they are after, so Israel and some of the other major military powers around the world can't get through the Suez Canal. Normally, they run their military ships through the Suez Canal during the night, so nobody knows what they're up to. But it's the Egyptian government that go, oh, hello, lads. What are you doing on that ship? Tanks? Where's that going? So that nobody knows what the major military powers are up to, including Israel, who have kind of been banned from the Suez Canal at certain times. They're going to build the Ben Gurion Canal. Now, the Suez Canal, because somebody said to me in a comment, I think on Wednesday, oh, it'll take 30 years. No, the Suez Canal took 10 years to build. So the Ben Gurion Canal could be in place in my lifetime. And I don't want to be right, because thousands of people have died for this. But the Ben Gurion Canal is coming, and the Ben Gurion Canal will be cut through rock. Suez Canal is built on shifting sands, but the Ben Gurion Canal will be built through rock, which means that Israel will earn billions and billions and billions of dollars from their canal, and billions of dollars from their gas, and billions of dollars from their oil, and control it through access from the Red Sea and Asia through the Ben Gurion Canal into the Mediterranean. What a shortcut that would be. So, you've got Bibi going, oh, right, stuff you, right, I'm in charge, and you can go and Foxtrot Oscar. Well, Bibi, we've got your game, Bonnie lad. We know what you're up to. We know what you're trying to do. We've seen right through you. But some people have no comprehension of it. So anyway, that's, and also if you want to look at the Ukraine-Russian war, it's not a war really, well, unless you've got Crimea, and Russia want Crimea and to keep Crimea because, oh, stuff me, there's loads of oil and gas under Crimea in the Black Sea, and that's where they're going to get it out. Turkey's up in arms. Hey, Vladimir, you can't do that, man. Oh, do you want to come and fight us then? No. Right then, Foxtrot Oscar, we'll get the oil and gas out of the Black Sea. That's why Putin was at George W. Bush's ranch within 3 days of 9/11. Why would he be at George W. Bush's ranch? Because they're oil men. So they built the oil pipeline, the American-Russian pipeline from the Caspian Sea. Sorry, I was reading one of Terry Wookfit's text. So they built the pipeline from the Caspian Sea south. Now, remember, and I know this may take a lot of grabbing onto because there's a lot of detail and data and information in this. But just watch the geopolitical stuff because they're going to keep you in fear. They're going to tell you what to do. Klaus is just a clown. He's a puppet. He's not the boy making the decisions. Don't be silly. The front men never make the decisions. The front men are the clowns. They bring the clowns in when you start getting too close to the truth as a distraction. So Klaus has said, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Here, Klaus, mate. Foxtrot Oscar, if you can understand that, because it's not German. It's not Austrian either. And they're just agent provocateurs. They're keeping the truth from you. So this American, Anglo-Russian-American pipeline, what they did was they said, oh, moment, chaps, we think we found Osama bin Laden. All right, where is he then? Oh, he's in the Tora Bora mountain range. Right? So what are you going to do? We're going to bomb the feck out of him. What do you mean, out of him? Well, the CIA built all the caves and things and his hideaways in the Tora Bora mountain range. We know exactly where that is. But what we're going to do is we're going to bomb it. Because we want to run the Caspian Sea oil pipeline through the Tora Bora mountain range. So they lobbed the B-52s up there, bombed the hell out of the Tora Bora mountain range, and oh, fan my brow, it paved the way for the pipeline from the Caspian Sea south through Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan to a warm water port in Pakistan. And where is Trotter Cameron this week? He's off meeting all the blokes from stands to go, have you got any more oil, chaps? Anywhere else we can get some more oil out of? Trotter Cameron's at it. Lord Trotter, he's at it. This is all about oil independence for the next 300 years. So the Gen Z slackers at Cambridge. Oh, right, chaps, just put your pens and pads down. Yes, we know that you're very busy, but we don't give a flying. There's your rifle, there's your gun, there's your ammo, there's your ordnance, and there's your uniform. So off you go. You can fight in Ukraine because it's a proxy war so that America can launder all of their billions of American tax dollars. And it's supposed to be a war with Russia, but actually it's a war for energy independence in Crimea. And nobody's paying the blindest bit of attention because you've been told Britain's Got Talent is on the telly on a weekend. And the Gen Z slackers at Cambridge, my word, I'm surprised they're not stuffing things up their derriere. Perverts. Don't try and what? Teflon Guan. Please don't try and sniff and fart underwater. I almost drowned. That is brilliant. If you're a first time at Teflon Guan, welcome to the body of the Kirk. I hope you managed to get a seat this evening. It's quite full. So let me tell you about the Gen Z slackers at Cambridge, and I went off on a slight tangent there. So, you know, in university, might not have happened in your day, but nowadays, the students are so bloody feckless. They never do any work. No. What? You think they're working at Cambridge and Oxford? Don't be so bloody stupid. So they get cleaners in once a week. Have you seen student accommodation? Holy Jesus, there's things living in their kitchen that they've never seen for 100 years. I mean, no, I'm not going to go with that gag. I'm going to go with this. So they get a weekly cleaner in. Like most universities have staff cleaners. And the students at Fitzwilliam's College at Cambridge are furious, are apoplectic with rage, bless them. Another IQ point, they'll be fucking lampposts. So they're furious, and exasperated at the housekeepers. These are the people that come in once a week and go, oh my Lord, there's dead people in here. What have they been taking again? And that is supposedly food? They reckon that's food? Do they? Student food? Does that come off the top of a pizza? So the housekeepers took pictures of the state of their pigsty, their untidy bedrooms, which is being polite. But the kitchens are even worse. I mean, you know what students are like. So then they sent the pictures. Wow, do they? Thank you, Rexanne. Do they have daily cleaners at Cambridge? Oh, they're privileged arses. Entitlement profound. So if they're getting daily cleaners in, the daily cleaners have gone in and gone, holy Jesus, what have they been doing? Is it another party or just dead people? Or are they eating dead people or are they eating dead things? Or is this, Madame Curie would like this for the penicillin for the lab? What? They talk about student culture. It's all on the bloody plates in the kitchen. So what they did was they took some pictures and they sent it around in emails around the university from Fitzwilliam College. And it read, here is an illustration of what housekeeping do not want to see on their weekly visits. Now, instead of feeling the shame and going, oh, lads, right, that was a particularly large night. That was a great party, but I think we need to get round because the cleaners are not very happy. Right, lads, see you there, 12 o'clock, first break. Let's have a spring clean for 3 minutes. So instead of rushing around and tidying up, they started to whine on that it was an invasion of privacy and deeply embarrassing. I mean, are these people off their nut on ketamine? Special K. Don't put sugar on that Special K. They're just entitled slackers. That's all they are. Oh, mummy and daddy provide. Yes, mummy and daddy, I'll go to university and do absolutely naff all. I might scrape a third, but who cares? Because nobody reads your degree papers once you... do you have a degree, sir? Yeah? Oh, that'll do. Not a first, not a third. Who cares, as long as you've got one. So these entitled slackers don't clean up their own rooms. They treat housekeepers with utter contempt. And maybe we need to say to them, there's war on, lads. You can choose Middle East or Ukraine. Which one would you like? Oh, by the way, it's because you wouldn't keep the kitchen clean. Yeah, shit-stirring monkeys. Mick Rush says, my daughter lives on her own, works at a pharmacy, drops meds off personally sometimes, and does not drive. Does uni and was out all day, 12 hours today, freezing. It's not all, but most. I mean, I don't know, unless I'm being unfair to them, I don't know whether they have this entitlement flowing through their veins and don't realise that when they get out of university, oh, life is proper going to see them and teach them lessons. But that's me and you. We've seen a bit of life. We understand a bit of life. And these Gen Zers, they're just slackers. I mean, I get that Oxford and Cambridge, they seemingly they work them harder than most other universities. But most good straight up and down kids, they go to university, they try and get a degree, they do the best that they can, and then these slackers, they'll end up as bloody MPs. Not that they do a day's work. Yeah, exactly, Alan. Very good. Generation Zombie. Mind you, next generation is A for Alpha. Can you imagine? Oh, I'm an Alpha. I'm Gen A. Foxtrot Oscar. Here's your gun. Go fight in Ukraine. No, I can't do that. I'm a YouTube influencer. Oh, what age are you? I've just come out of university. Brilliant. Good that your degree got... Was it a degree in war fighting, in warfare, in war strategy? No, it's in history. What would I want to do that for? Because you're going to war. I can't wait to see their faces. What do you mean I'm going to war? I studied at university. Yeah, Foxtrot Oscar, you're defending the Sceptred Isle. Up yours. Yeah, Sunflower. Sunflower, yeah, wrong. Welcome to the body of the Kirk. Precious babies, bless them. They'll want their backsides wiping next. What are they? Nearly 30. Terry Wookford, it's because the cleaners were some of those brain surgeons, rocket scientists and architects we have been importing via the English Channel. The Vietnamese! Mind you, you can have your dome cleaned and your nails done at the same time. Brilliant. Either that or the Vietnamese are going into the adult industry. You know, as the... I'm sure that the students need that going on at Cambridge as well. Marley Grassi said... Shannon McBride. A lot of them do have that entitlement. Aid. I know. And it's... Can you imagine just it's perception versus reality. The perception is that they can do anything they want, go anywhere they want. They're going to be multi-billionaires. They follow Andrew Tate. They laugh at Joe Biden, and Donald Trump's going to be the next president of the United States. And then they come out of university and, oh, fan my brow. They've got to go to war. So if Joe Biden stays in power, and there's every chance he'll take America to war. Look at Bibi. Bibi, remember, I've told you about this. I told you about the Black Swan event last year, and everybody cottoned on and followed on, bless them. And now I'm telling you that Bibi has the Samson option. What's that? He's going to loose off Armageddon. Nuclear warheads in Iran, if Iran pisses them off. And why would they take the Samson option? Because Israel could be overrun. Overrun by Iranian missiles that have brought the Iron Dome down, because Iran just taught Israel a lesson, and Israel went, oh, stuff you. Yeah, we'll sort you out. My dad's bigger than your dad. Really? Well, there's 90 million of us. How many million are you? 10. We've got the Iron Dome, though. And we've got the Samson option. So it's almost, I'm going home, and I'm taking my ball with me. Jumpers for goalposts, stuff you. It's my ball, I'm going home. And these little headbangers are going to take their countries to war because they want to stay in power. It's absolute power corrupts absolute... Sorry. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Jackie Glasgow. Jackie said, could be the Kate thing comes out. So a Black Swan event, as I've been saying, because we don't know what the Black Swan event's going to be. It has been nothing this year. I mean, the Japanese had it tight in January. But it's something that couldn't be foreseen, and the effect of which changes everything. So, is it Kate? Whatever's going on with her and the royal family, is this the final days of our royal family? In which case it would be a Black Swan event. Thank you, Jackie. Hang on. Terry says, if you knew the full details of the Samson option, you wouldn't be sleeping at all. Targets also include Moscow, London and Paris. When they bring the house down, they will bring the house down. As Slade once sang, we'll bring the house down. Yeah, I agree with you, Terry. It's worldwide Armageddon. Just because one man won't do the decent thing and Foxtrot Oscar, he's going to take the nation and Europe and possibly the whole world with him. It's my ball, I'm taking it home. All right, then, we'll go and buy our own. No, you won't. My ball's better than yours. I think you'll find my balls are bigger than yours, mate. So, I'm with Terry. I know some of the targets. I didn't particularly want to scare you with this. But there's a lot of darkness in this world. Do you know? Sunflower got it absolutely right. Stockpile whiskey. I'm coming around to yours to stay. I've got to wind up wireless. So I told you about the 3 days of darkness from the modern day Nostradamus. Let me tell you about... no, let's have another question. Let's have another question. We're going to go for 1 for yes, 2 for no. Rich boy, are you sick of him yet? Got nothing to do with anybody else, just Rich boy, because I've read all of this stuff in the papers today. Here, mate, man, shove it back up your derriere. So 1 for yes, 2 for no. Are you sick of rich boy yet? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Blimey, Terry, did you really? Brilliant. Did they turn up in sunglasses? Just check your brake pipes. Are you sick of rich boy? 1 for yes, 2 for no. 100%. 100%. So whatever he's saying in the Tory Graph or the Mail on Sunday or the Times, it's just it's like this, like some posh entitled idiot who, oh no, you can't do that. Here, mate, man, Foxtrot Oscar. Oh no, I've told you can't do that. And he's come out going, what did he say? Hang on. I bet I can't get to it really quickly. He said in one of the papers, was it the Mail? He said in one of the papers, let me see if I can get it. Unlike Sir Keir, I'm happy for Britain to lead the world in being tough on migrants. He's a fecking clown, that man. Oh, he's Prime Minister. Rich boy sung. I'm happy for Britain to lead the world in being tough on migrants. Mate, let me tell you something. It was a French copper that stuck a knife into one of the dinghies that couldn't come across the channel. How easy and effective was that? Not billions spent on making money for Infosys in Rwanda. Oh, Infosys has got an office in Rwanda. Oh, bugger me. Well, no, I don't fancy that, rich boy, but I know a bomb that could. I'm joking, of course. IRA nearly got John Major, but it's like, so Europe is copying the Tories. They're copying rich boy on Rwanda. Because all of a sudden they've gone like, hang on a second, so we can make how much out of this? How much is rich boy making with Infosys in Rwanda? Billions. So we can make that as well. Oh, right, let's do what Blighty's doing. Everyone in Europe, yes, let's send all of our flights and all of our immigrants to Rwanda. Do you know those Afghans and those Vietnamese that were kicking off in Paris last week? Yeah, let's just get them on a plane and let's spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of pounds and euros of taxpayers' money and we'll all get massively rich. I've said this to you before. There should be a rule in politics. However much money you've got when you go into politics is how much you come out with when you come out of politics. Not like America, you go in with a couple of 100,000 or $1 million or $2 million in your bank account, and you're only earning $180,000 a year, and you come out with $20 and $30 million. How do we end shite, man? So, rich boy, I don't care whether he's kind of setting it up for a June election or a July election. He's not setting it up for any election until he sees what's happening on Thursday, what the results are going to be, which is why I don't particularly want to talk about politics, because there are plenty of political parties. Vote with your conscience. It's entirely down to you. So, talking of which, smuggling gangs in France. If a newspaper journalist can find these immigrants, illegal immigrants and economic migrants, if they can find them and find that they're being held in World War II bunkers, why can't the French authorities? Why can't the British authorities? Who took the 500 million quid from Rich Boy? Oh, it was Emile Macron and his husband. Did you say that out loud, Adrian? Be careful. French get very upset. Bloody hope so! So the French burst a dinghy on the French coast. And nobody's taken a blind bit of notice. One cop, one knife, one deflated dinghy. 50 economic migrants can't get across the channel. And I saw the video, and one of the economic migrants is proper kicking off. Not in English, evidently, because they can't speak it. Or the French. Can't speak French either. Oh, he starts kicking stuff and proper throwing his spitting his dummy out of the pram. So let's send across a few cops who just have to wander around the beach, particular beaches, with a knife. And then deflate the dinghies. But I tell you what, I bet that cop got a bollocking from his gaffer. Oh, what are you doing that for? You should have just let them go. The English can deal with them, not us. We've now got 50 extra that we've got to deal with. Afghans and Vietnamese. Wonder why it's those two nationalities. You tell me in the comments. Let me just tell you about different cheeks of the same arse. I mean, I love that. I love that. So there's some politician who reckons he came up with that saying. Actually, no. Dan Poulter, GP, MP, he's defected from the Tories to Labour. So not that he's gone from one party to the other. You've just got to recognise that he's gone where the power's going to be by the time they get into power. But what the hell is he doing? If you're a Tory, you're leaning one way. If you're Labour, you're leaning another. No, they're all the same. They're all the political class. They've all got their snouts in the trough, and they're all corrupt. Absolutely corrupt as the day is long. We need to get rid of the politicians, not one particular party, because I've told you, power corrupts absolute, power corrupts absolutely. So you know the Labour Party, Keir Starmer, is he scaring you yet? They're going to get into power at the next general election, 200-seat majority, they reckon. Oh, that's going to make them go absolutely nuts. So he's defected from the Tories to Labour. It's the same. Labour's no different. They're politicians. And how can you tell when a politician lies? The lips move. And you know, the political classes are just corrupt. And I don't get... So I read something going through my newspaper archive that was published a couple of months ago about Prince William not wanting to be head of the church. See, he's got a screw loose. The church is where the power is. Not the politicians, they're all corrupt. Brown envelopes and stuff, or spanking rent boys with table tennis bats, or losing a Satsuma. Wow, the Beatles left the UK when super tax was 99%. Have you seen this MP's loss of office payments? So you know when they step down at the general election, whatever they decide to do, they get a loss of office payment. And you know that vile clown, Matt Hancock, possibly the most reviled man in these Sceptred Isles, he's getting 46 grand tax-free in his arse pocket. 46 grand for doing what? Nout. Nothing. Possibly being paid in a wanna more than you earn in a year. It is over double the average wage. Do you know William Ragg, the one who got compromised, knocking one out on a... He's getting 39 grand. For what? Nothing. Nothing. Tax-free, one-off, loss of office payment. 46 grand for Matt Hancock. Popeye was a stopper, man. You're making me laugh. Willie needs a rag. Very good. I wonder if that weasel had the jab, Sunflower. Nah, he's still alive. Oh, did I say that out loud? Couple of more things. Blimey, I've been going for 2 hours. You're wrong, and you could have said, Adrian, shut up. Something that I don't know whether you thought about this, but I'm very concerned about it. Because well, the killing off our kids with kindness and the other things. Nearly said the jibber jabber there. But data and research came out today that 1 in 4 children aged 10 and 11 years are obese. Children are admitted to hospital for weight-related conditions. The numbers are up 5-fold. Andy, you're wrong. And I always look at, and now I didn't have the best childhood, but I had a childhood and I survived it. And I'm still here talking to you now, much the same as you are when you're commenting to me. You're still here. We're still here. We're still breathing. We're kicking and flinging. And we're your iconoclasts. We're trying to bring the arseholes down. Sorry, idiots. But when I was a kid, if there was anybody that was a bit lardy or a bit thick in the beam, without being fattest, they got it tight because everybody was stick thin like a butcher's dog. Because we weren't eating loads of food or processed food or any kind of stuff that was detrimental to our health. But now our kids are like, oh, yeah, have all these carbs, have all this junk food. And 1 in 4, 25% of all 10 and 11-year-olds are obese. Now, have the school fields been sold off for 5G towers? Are we frying the kids and making them obese? Can you remember the film? And maybe you need to watch this again. Can you remember the film Wall-E, about the cute little computer thing, the little model thing? Can you remember all the humans in that film? And it was very profound. It had a very deep meaning, but everybody just thought it was a cartoon. It was Wally, little computer thing, falls in love with another computer, little robot. But if you look at the film, I sat there and literally had my mind blown, thinking, so all the humans in Wall-E have no spines. They are connected to their computers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're just in their chair, just being fed, being watered, no spine. Because we'd evolved past having a spine because we were sat in front of our computers all day, every day. And I looked at this thinking, holy Jesus, is that predictional? Is that going to be something that... Where's Wally replacing Kate? Oh, in the field, you're very funny. Very funny. I wonder if... Where's Wally? Exactly, where's Wally? But all these poor kids, we're killing them with kindness. And it should be, oh, yeah, let's have a game of footy. Oh, yeah, let's go out in the field. Let's do sport. Just get moving. Moving, because kids will burn it off in an instant. Oh, I'm not very well. I've got thyroid problems. No. You've got slackeritis. So, when I was a kid, all the kids were as fit as butcher's dogs, didn't get fed that often. I mean, I was lucky to get 1 meal a day. But I was as fit as. I mean, I left school 5 stone ringing wet, and I was thinking, oh, I'm a big lad now, 16. And when I met my form tutor, like 18 months later, when I was doing a mobile disco somewhere, and because I filled out into kind of like a manly frame, she didn't even recognise me. I was like, oh, you're wrong. You were my form tutor, was I? What's your name? Adrian Allen. So we need to, tomorrow it'll be the old ones. But today, 1 in 4, they're obese, 10 and 11-year-old. You're not giving them any life. You're building them up for owning nothing, and they will be happy. Hang on, Pauline, what did you say? No way. Pauline Makepeace says, Rexanne, so true. My son's school had really bad cooking lessons, just making bacon in the microwave. I mean, I think the pig had more to do with the bacon than the cookery class at school, but cooking bacon in the microwave. Wow, Pauline. Breathtaking. Breathtaking. Right, you're wrong, and there's a couple of 100 people still watching. If you could all smash the likes, man, it would help the channel massively. I think after a couple of hours, I'm in needing of a small tincture. So I hope tonight has been entertaining for you. Don't forget, make sure that you smash the likes for me, because that would be brilliant. I don't ask much of you, but if you smash the likes, that would help me massively and the channel. Please make sure that you're subscribed for all the videos that are coming. We're working on Hugh Edwards, because we've worked out what's going on with Hugh Edwards. And we've got more royal stuff coming. So, you know, we do the serious stuff on the lives. We do the showbiz stuff and other bits and pieces to keep you entertained. So smashing the likes and letting the algorithm know that this is quite both enjoyable and popular. So make sure you're subscribed. But most of all, always, thank you for your indulgence. I love your company on a Sunday and a Wednesday. The next live is going to be Wednesday, 8 p.m. Don't forget that I'm on X, or is it Twitter? I think Elon's done a question today. What do you prefer, X or Twitter? So we may end up going back to Twitter. Who knows? It's an ever-changing world. But you can follow me. It's simple, at Adrian Allen. That's my real name, and you'll find me there. Some wrong uns have started to follow, which is very interesting, because as I said at the beginning of this channel, I might not be the best, but I learn quick. So I hope everyone enjoys their evening this evening. Thank you for being here and interacting with the live and being great fun and indulging what we do on a Sunday and a Wednesday. My name's Adrian Allen. Thank you. I'm going to have a small snifter. I'll think about you. Stay safe, be well, and stay healthy. And I'll speak to you soon.